the fourth Sunday of Ordinary Time. These past weeks, we've been pondering that Jesus is the new teacher and is meant to be seen and heard. This new teacher today comes to the class of the liturgy, of the reading liturgy of the Word, as presenting kind of a syllabus for the semester, the liturgical year. And we call it the Beatitudes. Blessed or happy are you. We have the terms, that person is salt of the earth, or a person we'd consider them very earthy as a compliment, or they are grounded. Which is very interesting because the word human, humanity, humility, and humor all come from the same Latin word, meaning earth, dirt, composite. Those are interesting words and interesting phrases because the Beatitudes have something to do with our being humble. And maybe it's in the first beatitude, the happiness. Happy are you, blessed are you, if you have a poverty of spirit, which is different from having a poor spirit, of course, but a poverty of spirit in which we are asked at the very beginning, and the apostles, the crowd, the disciples, up this mountain. For Matthew, Jesus is the new Moses. And as Moses set out the syllabus for the Jewish people, the Deuteronomic law, on a mountain, Jesus is on a mountain. But living on the earth, on the humus is the Latin word. He will live on the humus. He will live his humanity and embrace the humanity of others. And he will ask then in the first beatitude, happy are you if you can accept your humanity. Then all the other beatitudes will come from that. So the humility to accept our humanity is also that we have to accept that we have an ego to be, above humanity, superhuman, way above, super being the Latin word for above, superhuman, superhumanity, and how that conflicts with humility, which is of the earth. And the people that we find earthy or well-grounded are those who live with both feet on the earth, while the ego is still there to have us soar, to live above. So humanity and humility are a poverty of spirit in which we accept the reality of our truth. But how does that fit with the word humor? That is funny, because we say, well, does that mean everything that's funny is dirty? No, there are very funny things that aren't dirty. Humor is a consequence of incongruity. A duck walks into a bar and says, well, ducks don't walk into bars and ducks don't talk. So we accept the incongruity and we see what happens. If you follow me here, that what is humorous about humanity is how we try to live as if we weren't human. That is really funny. To dress up or to pretend. Pretend is how we hold, tend is a holding. The Latin word teneo is protend. I hold something in front of me. I want you to see this. That's really funny, how we pretend. Well, everybody usually can see around your pretense. That's funny, how you pretend that you're not human, how you are not grounded, how you do not have the humility of accepting what it is to be human. It's funny and it's sad. And that's why there are these are the beatitudes, the happy attitudes. The sad attitudes are how we, by our ego and the conventions of our culture, would say, avoid being human. Don't look human. Don't make mistakes. Don't look limited. Deny your limitations. Soar. Pretend. Well, that gets us into a sadness then of how we live with our pretense that we're not human. We're not of the earth. So what is the opposite of a salt of the earth person? It's perhaps the vaporous nature of the clouds that are above the earthliness. Sad are you if you live above your condition. And that's when you will be sad, because you cannot be merciful with yourself and you can't be merciful with others and their limitations. And your judgment of yourself is applied to the actions and attitudes of others. And we don't let them be the salt of the earth. We want them to be above the earth, above humanity. Jesus came to meet us in our earthliness on the earth and embraces the poverty of our humanity. That's the beauty of these Beatitudes. He says, this is who I am. I am merciful and I mourn. How can that be? How can you be blessed if you mourn? It's because blessed are you because you loved what is human, and because it's human, it dies. It's hard to be of a mourning spirit, a grieving spirit, if you haven't loved. And loving is a very human thing, and it's a risky thing, because that which you love will change and depart. And blessed are the meek, and blessed are the pure of heart. But the sad attitude is, blessed are you if you are, sad are you if you are greedy and arrogant, not meek, not humble. Now, humble does not mean diminished. Humble means celebrating what's real. And so people who live as salt of the earth, they really live their human condition and live peacefully, mercifully, with the conditions of others, because they live mercifully with the conditions of themselves, because of the love of the Creator who is recreating us. Not making us more human, but loving us so that we can walk the earth. We can be the salt of the earth, be grounded, because we're not afraid to be seen as we really are. But blessed are the clean of heart, are those who say, I am what I am by the grace of God. And I live with that. But I also live with the tensions that I'd like to be more than that. I'd like to be more than human. I'd like to be above so that I can judge. To be judging is to be unmerciful, to look down on the earthliness of others. Well, that humor is sad, because you make friends, or you make fun of your relationships, judging them for their not living humanly, or you judge them because they are living humbly, gratefully. Maybe those are the same terms, that a person who is salt of the earth or who is earthy is grateful for the tension between the earth and the heaven, the beyond. We live invited by the Beatitudes to be people who hunger and thirst for what is right. And the Beatitudes, blessed, happy are you when people say bad things about you. Sad are you if you believe them. Happy are you if you know who you are, and what other people say of you is none of your business, if it's negative and diminishing. Because people who say bad things about you are disappointed that you aren't of the pretentious world, that you live in the contact with the needs of others, and you long for what is right. And if people say bad things about you, that's their problem. You are not your problem. You are their problem. Funny way to live. So the Beatitudes are not laws as the law of Moses was for our Jewish ancestors. They're invitations. They're saying, this is the syllabus, and we will be praying every week in the weekend liturgies to become more and more of the earth, of our earthliness, and letting go of the humor of pretense. And you might, for fun, see what is humorous about the way you individually pretend you're not human. I'd like to be of the earth with a longing for the beyond in heaven. Maybe that's the basic human thing, that I am of the earth now and long for the beyond always.